Also, I realized I forgot to turn the music down. Yeah, so yeah, okay, fine. I am late. Oh boy. This is gonna be a night. Oh, that's not great. That ain't great. Hey, what are you doing? Oh boy. Oh, this is not good. Let's try this again. Ah, okay, there we go. Cool. Hi. Hello. Oh boy. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mark Summers, Major Linux, twitch.tv/Major Linux, and it's time once again for Tech Talk today. It is a Friday, August 16, 2024. I didn't know. I normally don't do shows on Fridays. What's up? What's going on? But because we've not had a show on this channel since Monday, and because Tech Talk Thursdays was canceled so that way some people could spend time with their boo loves, I'm here today to back up what is called the Tech Talk dump truck, because we've got a metric ton of news that has gone on this week, and I would be remiss if I did not go through them piece by piece, brick by brick, to get them out there to you, even though I've been doing that systematically over on Mastodon threads and now Blue Sky. Blue Sky is now on Buffer, so I've ventured into posting news and stuff to Blue Sky through the bits of automation, and it's been okay. See how that goes. I mean, it seemed, again, with more algorithmic, and again, as much as Blue Sky would like to say that, hey, we're federated, still seems kind of algorithmic and centralized to me. But, you know, again, with Blue Sky and Threads being more or less algorithmic in nature, the engagement apparatus, if you will, has not really been as great as it's been on Mastodon. A lot more people engaging with the content. Not that that's what I'm looking for, but I mean, it's a thing of like, hey, I put it out there. Do you see it? Do you? Can you see it? So yeah. Like, people are seeing the fact that the Kim.com article that actually was shared probably 2 days ago, but it has since gotten mixed in, was put up and down and left and right on Buffer before it eventually came out today. Anywho, so things have happened, and again, I do apologize for not being here as much as I usually am, mainly because your boy ran out of medicine and was like out of sorts on Tuesday. Can't remember what happened Wednesday. Why was I not live? Therapy. I was supposed to be doing therapy on Wednesday, so that was the day I said I wasn't going to be here because of therapy. But that got canceled. Unfortunately, at the same time, my wife's car broke down, so I had to go handle that business, which meant I still wasn't going to be here to do the show. Thursday, I was going to do the show, but then decided Oh, I'm gonna do it Thursday night, as opposed to Tech Talk Thursdays. And even then, I was like, "Yep, nope, this isn't happening." So I pushed everything to Friday. So hi, hello. Yes, we got some things we got to talk about. Some SAG-AFTRA agreements came through. A lot of court cases. Lot of things happening in courts this week. Also some good news for the Solidarity of Storage Devices group. So happy for them. That's right. Today it is Friday. It's Tech Talk today. Let's get into it, shall we? With a screen that's not going to work because I forgot I was playing a video game last time. All right, there we go. First off today, SAG-AFTRA deal will let advertisers replicate actors' voices with AI, but the performers will get to choose which brands to work with and how much to charge. So again, when this finally posted to Mastodon, there was someone like, well, I don't see what the big deal is. Like, I mean, at least they get the control. It's not that. It's the fact that they're using AI. It's the fact that AI is a thing. And also because this is just capitalism, I do not trust that the companies who have the most to lose from this will play in good faith. And that this won't be taken advantage of, even though there are contracts in place for this. Let's see. Performers will be able to set their own prices with SAG-AFTRA minimum rates being the lowest. And if they don't want to work with the Narrative anymore, which is a company that's doing all the AI cloning stuff, the platform is required to delete their digital voice replica and any recordings they made for its creation. When the union went on strike last year, one of the biggest issues it wanted to address was the use of artificial intelligence to create actors' likeness without their permission and without pay, even after they die. They were also concerned about the technology's potential to replace performers altogether. The fact of the matter is, they could have nipped AI in the bud. Like, I feel like if any group of people who could have done it, it could have been actors. It's like, no, we just don't want this at all. But again, I guess when you wave around big sums of cash, Ruin, I've been doing this off and on for about 3 months now. Yeah, it's been about 3 months because I think my son was still in school at the time. What's going on, Ruin? How you doing? I know. And see, that's the thing. Technically, I don't do these on Fridays. I take Friday off myself. So yeah. But because of a whole bunch of extenuating circumstances, either beyond or within my control, I'm doing it today. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, the actors could have nipped this in the bud, but I guess when you start waving cash at them, it's like, oh wait, you didn't mention I could get paid. I do need to pay for that third home in Maui. You know what? Okay. But when I'm done, when I'm done with this, we're done. I don't know. I guess it does individually give the actors the ability to say, no, we don't want to do this as well. So there's that. But yeah, I'm just not too happy with this deal, but Also, I do not think that this has anything to do with the video game strike. I don't think this has anything to do with the video game strike. So yeah. Also something that's not in there, apparently drug dealers are advertising on Facebook. Are they really? Selling an array of pharmaceutical and other drugs. Really? Okay. I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm not on Facebook. Also, I block ads, so. In case you missed it, Google's Pixel 9 lineup was announced. I think pre-orders are available. I think I've seen some ads for it. Let's see, stored google.com. Yes, they are available. You can pre-order the Pixel 9. Let's see here. So the Pixel 9 Pro comes in 2 sizes, which is the Pro and the Pro XL. Oh, okay. So the Pixel Fold is now the Pixel Pro Fold. And the Pixel 9 Pro comes in pink. And apparently I did not grab, and I thought this was all for all the Pixel 9s, but no, this is for the Pixel 9 Pro and Pro XL. No. So let's go. Yeah, let's. No, I forgot. I just opened it. I could just do this. Look at that. So this is the Pixel 9. This is their new camera bump. Look at it. It is way out there. Yeah, I mean, it looks like an iPhone. It looks like an iPhone, but just stretched out cameras as opposed like the square. I mean, but you get the square with the fold. Comes in peony, wintergreen, porcelain, and obsidian. Okay, that obsidian looks really nice. And of course, you got the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, which comes in porcelain and obsidian. I'm liking the design of these. That's like, I don't know, like that looks really nice. That looks really nice. I like the industrial like sides of phones where it's just nice and like squared off in a way. Yeah, I'm loving this. Like, just like it. I don't like rounded edges too much because I mean it makes it feel a little bit more slippery, even though it could help with the, you know, swiping and shit. It just feels very slippery to me. I do like these nice squared off edges. $1,800. What was it? Oh yeah, for the Fold. Yeah, it ain't great. It ain't great. And the All Pro Pure Magic, the Google Pixel Pro, Pixel 9 Pro and Pro XL. The Pro at 6.3 inches and the Pro XL at 6.8 inches. Of course, you've got porcelain, rose quartz, hazel, and obsidian. I'm still not down with dropping that much on a phone. Yeah, like I could get a phone for that price, or I can get like a graphics card or a decent computer even. Granted, my MacBook was still $2,000. So there's that. My iPhone was also like $1,100. Whoa. Okay. I mean, if anything, it just looks like they zoomed in, but Okay, that kind of highlights it a little bit differently. It is a little bit fatter. Even it like with the Pro XL, I mean with the Pro phones, I still would probably go with the Pro as opposed to the Pro XL. Because like I mean for me, like I don't see what the need is of having such a large phone. I never really grasped that concept. So let's see, better resolution on the Pro XL because of the bigger screen. Everything else still about the same. Of course, this is way heavier. Okay, so apparently the Pro charges faster in 30 minutes. Which I feel like if you have a smaller battery, why is the smaller battery not charging as fast? I mean, why does the smaller battery not get more charge? Just because like you're not filling up as much, but that's weird. Storage and memory are the same. So yeah, so it doesn't look like much. It doesn't look like the phones are that much different, except for like just the physical dimensions and the battery. The only thing that I would say, in my case, where the Pro XL wins out is the fact that it charges its battery a lot faster. Like they are doing the Apple thing of like, oh, the Pro Max has a better camera in it or has better lens in it. To where it's like you can split your Pro base. And like, that's just dumb. Don't do that. Yeah, still not seeing any differences in between the two. Also, another thing too, like these phones are launching with Android 14. Like 15 seems to be coming out after the fact, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I guess I can keep scrolling and nothing's going to change between the two. Yep, they're all pretty much the same. Whoa, wait a second. Okay, so the USB Type-C port is 3.2, but the cable that it ships with is only 2.0, which I guess like, hey, just keep this with the charger. Do not use this for data transfer. Whatever you do, don't do that. Although I feel like if you're gonna ship me a cable with my phone, let it be rated to do the data transfer that the phone does. Not a lot of people are going to know this and wonder like, yo, so I plugged my phone to my computer. Why is the data transferring so slow? So, oh, well, you need a different cable. Just give me the cable that I need to do the fast transfers along with the fast charging. That's just dumb. Anywho, so yeah, those are your new Google Pixel lineup. They're available for pre-order right now, and I did not check to see when they were launching, so I'm hoping that's in this article. Going solo August 22nd, so next week. So go forth if that's your thing. I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't also tell you that, hey, these products, buying them new, is devastating to our planet and is causing trouble over in the Congo. But, you know, I mean, amongst other places. But, you know, you do you. Ruin? Why? Why must you ruin? Speaking of Google, the ex-Google CEO says successful AI startups can steal IP and hire lawyers to clean up the mess. And boy, if that was not ever the statement of capitalism, I don't know what is. Of course, if you do not remember this crusty old white man, this is Eric Schmidt, former Google CEO, who now is Sundar Pichai. From Google CEO and chairman Eric Schmidt has made headlines for saying that Google was blindsided by the early rise of ChatGPT because its employees decided that working from home was more important than when. Oh my God, can I punch him in the fucking face? I really had to censor myself on that one. And that was active censorship. I mean, it wasn't like, no, I was really going to say the other one just apropos of nothing. And it's like, wait, no, that's not right. I shouldn't say that. I really wanted to say punch, but my brain and my mouth had different plans. The comment was made in front of Stanford students during a recent interview, video of which was removed from the university's YouTube channel after Schmidt's gaffe was widely picked up by the press. Let's see. Alex Heath was managed to watch most of Schmidt's chat with Stanford's Eric Brynolfsson. Whew, that is a last name. Before it was taken out, however, and something else he said stands out. While talking about a future world in which AI agents can do complex tasks on behalf of humans, Schmidt said, "If TikTok is banned, here's what I propose each and every one of you do. Say to your LLM the following: make me a copy of TikTok, steal all the users, steal all the music, but put my preferences in it. Produce this program in the next 30 seconds, release it, and in 1 hour, if it's not viral, do something different along the same lines." That's the command. Boom, 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 boom. A bit later, Schmidt returns to his TikTok example, says, "So an example that I gave you of the TikTok competitor, and by the way, I was not arguing that you should legally steal everybody's music. What you would do if you're a Silicon Valley entrepreneur, which hopefully all of you will be, is if it took off, then you'd hire a whole bunch of lawyers to go clean the mess up, right? But if nobody uses your product, it doesn't matter, and that it doesn't matter that you stole all the content. And do not quote me." At this point, Brynolfsson points out that you're on camera, to which Schmidt responds, "Yeah, that's right. But you see my point. In other words, Silicon Valley will run these tests and clean up the mess, and that's typically how those things are done." What in the... Again, when told that you were on camera, when told he was on camera, this fucking hyper-capitalist was like, you know what? I don't give a shit. I said what I said, and I stand by it 10 toes down. Does not matter to him at all. I mean, and again, like, it kind of goes to show you, like, where we are as a country, where we are where this social system is, where it's like, somebody spent, like, a team of people spend time making something. You don't have to like that. Like, in the same example of TikTok, you do not have to like TikTok, but you do have to recognize that human people took the time to develop an app that did become, it still is wildly popular and successful for whatever problems it has. And his example is, get an LLM, which is, and again, not to say that TikTok isn't also ruining the planet for whatever aspects it is, but get an LLM, which is ruining the planet, to sit there and copy TikTok. Everybody do it. Whereas all these TikTok clones are just, maybe one of them will succeed. And when you do, and somebody says, hey, you copy TikTok and all of its content, then while you're successful, because you'll be successful before people realize that, you go and hire lawyers to clean it up. And that's how you make a successful business in 2024, thanks to AI. So again, it's that whole thing of using AI to copy the creative works of humanity, and then use the capitalism to paper over the fact that you just stole shit from people. Again, digital colonialism. Or no, it's digital colonization. Excuse me, not colonialism, but colonization. Just come into a place, steal all the shit, and just paper over it. Like, nah, we cool. You want money? Is that what you want? I got your money. And again, fuck you, Eric Schmidt, for saying working from home was more important than winning. I really, really want to punch you in the face now. And more Google news, because that's right. We've got plenty. Now we're getting into court section, by the way. Low effort capitalism. That's what they want. I feel like even if you told ChatGPT to do that, again, not going to be the best thing for you. It's one thing if I got it to spit out Python code, which, yes, when I was working, I did do that. I got it to spit out Python code for me because I didn't understand Python at the time. Or I just understood enough to where it's like, all right, you give me the code, I will figure out how to get it to work. And for better or worse, it worked. But in this case, you're trying to create something very, very complicated. And yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe it's not, maybe he didn't even say it like it was going to be that simple. It was like, hey, create a clone, and then if it doesn't work, we'll hammer it out. Let's see. The U.S. Department of Justice might ask for a breakup of Google, like spinning off Android and or Chrome. So according to Bloomberg and the New York Times, several options are being considered. The most extreme and frequently discussed is a breakup of Google, with the most likely units for divestment being the Android operating system and Google's web browser Chrome. At issue is how they contribute to online search dominance by having Google search as the default engine. Another divestiture candidate is Google Ads, AdWords text advertising in particular, or the government could ask for interoperability requirements that will make it work seamlessly on other search engines. Another option would require Google to divest or license its data to rivals such as Microsoft's Bing or DuckDuckGo. Whew. All right. There are plenty of options on the table here, and I'm pretty sure Google would more or less want to license their stuff to other people than lose control of things like Android and Chrome. Even though I feel like there are people in the open source world who would rather see the latter happen. Is it, yes, Google give up Chrome, give up Android, and we can make our own forks and just like definitely just de-Googleize everything, and it'll be great. We can have a truly, truly open operating system to work off of and build amazing things. And it's like, you know what? I can see that. I can see that. And actually, yeah, that's the world I want to live in too. I want to live over there if they break off Android and Chrome. Over in the Fifth Circuit, the court rules Geofence warrants are illegal in a win for phone users' privacy. A federal appeals court ruled on Friday that Geofence warrants, which are used to identify all users or devices in a geographic area, are prohibited by the Fourth Amendment's protection against unreasonable searches. If Google has to stop the deals, is Firefox going to die? I mean, probably, but then look, if they have to break off like also let's just hope they have to break off Chrome, and then we can get de-Google Chrome. Oh, the debt collective celebration in Durham happening. Should go. I should go and let's celebrate. So we basically made a problem. Wait, who made the problem? The ruling was issued by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit, which is generally regarded as the most conservative appeals court. The Fifth Circuit holding creates a circuit split with the Fourth Circuit, which last month rejected a different Fourth Amendment challenge to Geofence warrants. This court cannot forgive the requirements of the Fourth Amendment in name of law enforcement. Accordingly, we hold that geofence warrants are general warrants categorically prohibited by the Fourth Amendment. The August 9th ruling from the Fifth Circuit said. So that's fantastic. I love it. Hey, you can't sit there and this is lump me with a whole bunch of people. You can't just throw out this digital dragnet. Despite the evidence being allowed, the court's overall holding against geofence warrants is significant. The Electronic Frontier Foundation called the Fifth Circuit ruling a major decision. Closely following arguments, EFF has made in a number of cases. The court found that geofence warrants constitute the sort of general exploratory rummaging that the drafters of the Fourth Amendment intended to outlaw. EFF applauds this decision because it is essential that every person feels like they can simply take their cell phone out into the world without the fear that they might end up a criminal suspect because their location data was swept up in an open-ended digital dragnet. The nonprofit group focused on digital rights said. I'm a big fan. Like it's a big thing where, of course, like if you're looking for the criminals, we're just going to see who all was there and we'll just go from there. Like, no, we're not going to do that. Like, I want to just be in a place and I have to worry about did somebody pull my location data and are possibly considering me to be a suspect of a crime that I did not commit. Like, no, that's just bad precedent and we should stop that. So shouts out to the Fifth Circuit for throwing that shit out. Oh, this is the one where I step out of court for a bit to talk about U.S. Homeland Security. Well, because I guess it's like digital privacy. U.S. Homeland Security will reportedly collect face scans of migrant kids, although the Department of Homeland Security disputes this report. So initially the story says the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, which is looking to improve its facial recognition algorithms, is reportedly planning to use the facial data of migrant children entering the country for training. According to MIT Technology Review, the agency intends to collect and analyze facial captures of kids younger than 14. John Boyd, the Assistant Director of Homeland Security's Office of Biometric Identity Management, who's involved in the development of biometric services for the government, told the publication that the collection will include children down to the infant. So they've got a quote from the guy that works there. I really want to know how DHS is. No. Boyd told the MIT Technology Review that the agency hasn't started collecting biometric information under the program yet, at least to the best of his knowledge. But that he can confirm that his office is funding it. He added that his office takes privacy seriously and that it doesn't share data with commercial industries. It does not matter. If you have the data, it means that the data is unsecured. Like, I'm sorry, like you could put as many you could put as much protection around it, but somebody's going to fuck up. They're going to slip up. And because you were holding the data, it makes you culpable of this problem. Data collected by the program could help improve facial recognition technologies, understanding of how faces change as humans age. The program could ultimately help authorities find missing children even after years have passed. Okay, there we go. Homeland Security is disputing some of MIT Technology Review's reporting, though, and a spokesperson told Engadget that the publication got its information from a presentation meant to understand emerging technologies and their theoretical applications. Quote, the DHS does not collect facial images from minors under 14 and has no current plans to do so for either operational or research purposes, the spokesperson said. Again, but that's not what Mr. John Boyd said. So where do they get the are these quotes? As Boyd explained at a conference in June, the key question for OBIM is if we pick up someone from Panama at the southern border at age 4, say, and then pick them up at age 6, we're going to recognize them? Like, so it seems like, sure, they were at a presentation, but I don't know. This guy seems to be talking and they're pulling quotes from words this man said. So, I mean, refute all you want, DHS. Like, homeboy said this. Homeboy said words. Also, even here, well, I mean, this isn't gadget, so it's like a word of a word. But, yeah. Hey, do you watch Disney Plus? Do you like watching programs like The Mandalorian or the Marvel movies on streaming? Well, guess what? If you've been watching Disney Plus, you agreed to the term of service, and you happen to die in a restaurant owned by Disney, you may not be eligible for compensation. Disney wants a Florida court to dismiss a wrongful death lawsuit at a Disney-affiliated restaurant based on terms of service for the entertainment giant's website and streaming video services. You know, because they all share the terms of service, restaurants and streaming platforms. The company argues that a couple agreed to an arbitration clause when one of them bought tickets to Disney World. Okay, now, maybe I can see the argument for that one. This one, the following one, no. And in an even more distant connection, when signing up for Disney Plus years before. The lawsuit filed in February concerns a 42-year-old woman named Kanakporn Tangswan. I am so sorry. Who died due to an allergic reaction that occurred after eating at one of the restaurants at Walt Disney World Resort's Disney Springs area in October 2023. As noted in the suit, Tong Swan and her husband, Jeffrey Piccolo. Oh, it's one of it. I don't want to say, but I feel like it's one of those marriages. Okay. Jeffrey Piccolo allegedly chose the restaurant because it advertises the accommodation of persons with food allergies as a top priority. Tong Swan was highly allergic to nuts and dairy. Piccolo, who represents Tong Swan's estate, is suing Disney for damages of more than $50,000. However, in a motion filed in May, Disney alleged that Piccolo accepted a forced arbitration agreement when signing up for Disney Plus in 2019. I'm sorry, what now? The streaming video services terms of use state that any dispute between you and us, except for small claims, is subject to a class action waiver and must be resolved by individual binding arbitration. And the agreement folds in another agreement to Disney's broader terms of use, including a smaller waiver covering all disputes involving Disney and its affiliates. This is what I expect from the media megacorp in my dystopian future. Yeah, we need to stop this from happening. This ain't great. Arbitration is a private legal process that involves settling a dispute outside of court. While it's a suitable option in some cases, it's risky in others. As the National Association of Consumer Advocates says, arbitrators aren't required to take the law and legal precedent into account, and you can't appeal their decision. Disney argues Piccolo agreed to the arbitration clause outside of Disney Plus as well. The motion says he accepted the My Disney Experience terms and conditions when purchasing tickets to Epcot in September 2023, and that agreements included Disney's terms of use. But in response to Disney's motion filed earlier this month, Piccolo's legal team argues that overarching Disney terms were made effectively invisible. He would have had no notice when signing up for Disney Plus, it says, because Disney put the link to its terms of use within another link on the agreement page. And when he was accepting the My Disney Experience terms, the filing claims he wouldn't have seen them either, since Disney assumed he'd already seen them 4 years ago. Either way, the response argues that Piccolo's clicking of a box to create an account shouldn't bind his wife to the same agreement, and neither of these agreements were necessary to eat at the restaurant because you don't need to buy tickets for Disney Springs. That's right, fucker! This is like the fucking worst. Like the fact that something can happen to my family or myself, but because we have Disney Plus, it does not fucking matter. Like, this has to be way beyond illegal. Just super beyond illegal. And it's so, because it breaks my brain. Like, for Disney to be like, for them to put this image forth that, you know, they're the happiest place on earth. It's so kid friendly. Like, you know, my child watches a lot of Disney content. I grew up as a kid watching Disney content. It's almost like I have this reasonable expectation of Disney to not fuck me, because they're nice. They got Frozen and shit, right? But as an adult covering shit like this, like, one, I would have never known. Like, if it wasn't for Disney Plus, I probably would never have known. And a lot of people probably wouldn't have known. But it's just like, to sit here and say, which is true, and that is absolutely true. Again, this is what my son keeps asking me, do I want to be rich? And I keep saying no. He asked me today, and this was so fucking funny. He asked me literally today, a few hours ago. So, Daddy, do you want to be famous? No. Daddy, do you want to be rich? No. When he asked that question, he looked at me like, why? Like, that's not the answer I was expecting a reasonable human being to say, was that they would object to being rich. And it's like, for me, like, because being rich, and especially in the way that I think he sees it, is immoral in my eyes. Because, like, you have to do so much shady shit to amass that much money. Or even if not, like, let's say, like, you win the lottery, like, that's not shady. I feel like you purchasing a lottery ticket in and of itself is not shady. Like, you win the lottery, you get a whole bunch of money. I think at that point, when you start hoarding it, that becomes shady, especially when there are people who could use that money, and for some reason, a group of people were hoarding it to then hand it off to somebody else. I feel like that immorality got handed to me when I received my lottery winnings. It's like, yeah, like, if you could find a way to be sustainable as a millionaire and be able to help society, sure, can see that all day. But most millionaires don't. Or when they're trying to be altruistic, most aren't doing it because they want to be altruistic. It's for the image. But yeah, like, the way Disney got it definitely is immoral. And like, it was one thing when there's like, you know, they keep filing patents and doing shit, and like, you know, we all celebrate it when Mickey Mouse, or at least Steamboat Willie, fell into the public domain. Because like, haha, we can do whatever we want to this and Disney can't say anything. Like, sure. Disney's done enough to people to where we celebrated Steamboat Willie. And, you know, that was bad. But this right here is just downright fucking evil. And it's a thing where it's like, I don't know. I would probably cancel my Disney Plus subscription. Honestly, I would have done it by now. But one, it's free with my cell service. So there's that. Even though I could just cancel that one and maybe move over to Netflix or HBO Max or something. But yeah, I would cancel it because of this, or would have just canceled it because I'm just not watching it. Even though people keep telling me watch Acolyte, I have not watched Acolyte yet. It comes to my cell service. I don't think Verizon offers me anything else. Yeah, same here. Like I have Verizon, and that it's the Disney Plus thing that now includes Hulu, and it's my family benefits from it. I barely do. All right. You know, I thought there was more court stuff here. I don't know why Sonos got put up here as a labor issue. We'll go with it anyway. You know what? I'm pretty sure I had a reason when I put it there, but yeah, it's whatever. Sonos lays off 100 employees as its app crisis continues. The company is making cuts despite CEO Patrick Spence's pledge that fixing the app has become Sonos' top priority, which, you know, it's hard for you to argue that when you drop 100 people. Sonos laid off approximately 100 employees this morning. A source familiar with the situation tells The Verge. The cuts span across the company and impact the divisions including marketing, product and engineering, platform and infrastructure, and software quality. Chris Welsh was told those affected abruptly lost access to the company's internal network. Sonos is also in the process of winding down some of its customer support offices, including one in Amsterdam that will close later this year. Maybe since this should be an executive level for, you know, I'm just saying. It shouldn't take Starbucks amount of time to acknowledge an executive level failure, but Sonos confirmed the layoffs to The Verge on Wednesday afternoon, providing a statement from CEO Patrick Spence. Quote, "We made the difficult decision to say goodbye to approximately 100 team members, representing 6% of the company." Excuse me. I love how they throw the percent in and said, look, it wasn't that much, not that many. Like, we didn't cut off that many people from our company. It was only 6%. Calm down. Fuckers. This action was a difficult but necessary measure to ensure continued meaningful investment in Sonos' product roadmap while setting Sonos up for long-term success. Again, I just want to point out that I feel like long-term success is when you keep people employed and keep your shit going. Maybe let's not pull a bungee and cut jobs while you sitting living the high life. Oh, but you also laid off 7% last year? Okay. And just admit that you suck as a leader and, you know, find another job. I'm just going to point that out. I feel like it's not the employee's fault that you were cutting that you have to cut numbers. It's your fault. Oh, okay. Now this makes sense why I put the Sonos thing there. Because this one, during Musky Musk, hey, click yes or resign, ultimatum he gave his employees back when he took over. Somebody didn't click yes, didn't click anything, was let go, and now he's getting paid $600,000 for it. Musk and Musk had no business sending Twitter employees an email giving them 24 hours to click yes to keep their jobs or else voluntarily resign during his takeover in 2022. An Irish workplace watchdog ruled on Monday. Not only did the email not provide staff with enough notice, the labor court ruled, but also any employee's failure to click yes would in no way constitute a legal act of resignation. It said the court reviewed evidence alleging that the email appeared designed to either get employees to agree to new employment terms, sight unseen, or else push employees to volunteer for dismissal during a time of mass layoffs across Twitter. Quote, going forward to build a breakthrough Twitter 2.0. So when is that coming? And succeed in an increasingly competitive world, we will need to be extremely hardcore. Musk wrote in an email, in an all-staff email, this will mean working long hours at high intensity. Only exceptional performance will constitute a passing grade. So then what happened to fucking Twitter? Like, did all the people who would have actually been able to do the amazing work, like, voluntarily resign? Don't answer that, because I feel like it was yes. With the subject line, quote, a fork in the road, the email urged staff, if you are sure that you want to be part of the new Twitter, please click yes on the link below. Anyone who has not done so by 5 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, Thursday, will receive 3 months of severance, whatever decision you make. Thank you for your efforts to make Twitter successful. At a 73-page ruling, an adjudication officer for the Irish Workplace Relations Commission, WRC, Michael McNamee, ruled that Twitter's abrupt dismissal of an Ireland-based senior executive, Gary Rooney, was unfair, the Irish public service broadcaster RTE reported. Rooney had argued that his contract clearly stated that his resignation must be provided in writing, not by refraining to fill out a form. A spokesperson for the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment, which handles the WRC's media inquiries, told Ars that the decision will be published on the WRC's website on August 26th after both parties have the opportunity to consider it in full. Now, instead of paying Rooney the draft severance amount worth a little more than $25,000, Twitter, which is now called Twitter, has to pay Rooney more than $600,000. According to many analysts, this is a record reward from the WRC and included about $220,000 for prospective future loss of earnings. Should I fuck you, Twitter? And fuck you, Musky Musk. And more Twitter news. The UAW files charges against Elon Musk and Donald Trump for alleged union busting talk. The United Auto Workers Union has filed federal labor charges against Elon Musk and former President Donald Trump over their illegal attempts to threaten and intimidate workers during Monday night's interview on Twitter. So essentially, while you've tuned into status where I'm playing game, Musky Musk decided he was going to host a nice little town hall kind of conversation, you know, like let's have a beer and chat with one of the presidential candidates, that being Donald Trump. From what I understand from the reporting of this conversation, started off late. There was weird techno music being played from Donald Trump's Spaces account or whatever. They finally did get everything up and running, to which Musky Musk, he had claimed that they were the victims of a DDoS attack, to which multiple people from within Twitter said, no, nothing of the sort ever happened at all. We don't know what the fuck he's talking about, dog. At one point in the interview, Trump praised Musk's response to striking workers. He called Musk the greatest cutter, referring to the widespread layoffs the billionaire has issued at Tesla and Twitter. Quote, I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in, you say, you want to quit, then go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay. You're all gone. You're all gone. So every one of you is gone. Just so we're clear here, under federal labor laws, it's illegal to fire workers who participate or threaten to participate in a protected strike. The UAW represents more than 400,000 workers in the automotive, aerospace, and agricultural industries in North America. The union recently endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential race after previously endorsing President Joe Biden. Last year, the UAW also launched organizing campaigns at several automakers, including Tesla. And more here coming from UAW President Shawn Fain. Donald Trump will always side against workers standing up for themselves, and he will always side with billionaires like Elon Musk, who is contributing $45 million a month to a super PAC to get him elected. I'm not sure if that's still happening, but that was announced recently, like not too long after the attempted assassination. Both Trump and Musk want working class people to sit down and shut up, and they laugh about it openly. Again, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and I really hope the UAW wins this. You know, no matter who they endorse, I still stand with the workers, and I really hope UAW wins this. Texas judge who owns Tesla stock recuses himself from Twitter's advertising lawsuit. I only have this article because I am surprised that judges actually know how to recuse themselves. And I'm looking at you, Clarence Thomas. Just saying. A Texas judge who was assigned 2 cases involving Elon Musk's Twitter platform has recused himself from one of them shortly after a report that he owns stock in Tesla. U.S. District Court Judge Reed O'Connor was assigned to Twitter's recent antitrust lawsuit against advertisers over their boycott of the service, as well as a separate case against Media Matters, which the company sued for a report showing that Twitter's displayed ads for major brands next to pro-Nazi content. On Tuesday, O'Connor filed a notice to the court clerk recusing himself from the antitrust lawsuit. He still appears to be assigned to the Media Matters case as of Tuesday afternoon. The recusal came just a few days after NPR reported on O'Connor's Tesla stock holdings, which, according to a financial disclosure, fall between $15,001 and $50,000. Musk, of course, is Tesla CEO. O'Connor's disclosures also show he's invested in Unilever. However, as independent legal journalist Chris Geidner pointed out on Twitter, Unilever is a defendant in the advertiser case. That might explain why he recused himself from just one of the 2 Twitter cases. Because he was going to stand to lose money in one of them. And it's like, yeah, you know, can't piss off everybody. So I'll go to one where I can piss off one and it not affect me as much. And even in the halls of Congress, Twitter is still being talked about because now it's the Democrats who want the House to investigate Twitter for political censorship. House Judiciary Committee ranking member Jerry Nadler sent a letter to his committee's chair, Jim Jordan, on Thursday, urging him to investigate inaccurate information about the presidential election on Twitter. Jordan, a self-proclaimed free speech advocate, has relentlessly pursued claims that social platforms have censored conservative voices. For a little taste of what Jordan considers censorship, he cried foul when platforms removed bogus COVID conspiracies during the height of the pandemic and banned Donald Trump from inciting a mob to storm the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. Nadler cited reports that Grok, Twitter's AI chatbot, falsely claimed Democratic nominee and Vice President Kamala Harris, missed deadlines in 9 states, making her ineligible to appear on their ballots. Harris didn't miss any deadlines and will appear on all 50 states' ballots. In addition, Nadler pointed to reports that Musk social platform suspended the group White Dudes for Harris after it hosted an event that raised over $4 million from over 200,000 people for the vice president's campaign. The account was barred due to a user report accusing it of violating rules against evading suspension, which was never explained further. After Twitter reinstated the White Dudes account the following day, the same profile was labeled as spam after being falsely accused of manipulating the platform, limiting its reach. again, this is why I argue get off of platforms that have you, you know, not get the reach you want based off of the algorithm. Also, and might I just add this? I want to make sure you hear me clearly here. Get the fuck off Twitter. Leave it. Leave it behind. Just walk away. It'll be better. Again, do not care what social media platform you go to or whether you want to do social media again. It's fine. You do you. Just get the fuck off of Twitter. There we go. Bring the music back. But yeah, Congressman Nadler is hoping that, you know, Jim Jordan said, hey, you know what? I see what you're saying here. There is a little bit of censorship on that their Twitter platform. Maybe we should look into this. But speaking of apps you can use that, you know, aren't really based on an algorithm, but maybe because it's not necessarily ActivityPub. Flipboard is going to let you follow Fediverse accounts right inside of the app. Which means, hey, it's another ActivityPub app you can use where you can follow your favorite ActivityPub users like yours truly at Major Linux at toot.majorshouse.com. You could do that like today. It'd be dope. It'd be fantastic. And also, you know, threads. You can follow people on threads. You know, it's whatever. Excuse me. Oh no, this one's good. Self-driving Waymo cars keep San Francisco residents awake all night by honking at each other. Videos provided by residents to NBC show Waymo cars filling into the parking lot and attempting to back into spots, which seems to trigger honking from other Waymo vehicles. The automatic nature of these interactions, which seem to peak around 4 a.m. every night, has left neighbors bewildered and sleep deprived. Now, I don't know if they're going to flag me for the audio, so I'm just not going to play it. I'm not going to play. Oh, excuse me. That is loud. That was loud. My bad. Trying to find it. There we go. I'm not going to play the audio, but yeah, hopefully the visual here will suffice. But yeah, like that is just funny as shit, bro. And what's really funny about it, like, is it's not like it happens at random points. It happens at 4 a.m. According to the residents, it happens at like 4 a.m. every morning. And from what I've understood, from what I've read from this, is that they are programmed to go to a charging station, I think from like between 2 and 3 a.m. So this is a lot of them coming back into the parking lot because this is where they would say if they're not being used. So even during the day, if they're not being used anywhere, that this is where they come park until, so like, when they not being used, they come to the parking lot, and then when somebody needs a Waymo and there isn't one nearby, they may pull one from the parking lot. However, at 4 a.m. or between 2 and 4 a.m. or a greater amount of time, like nobody's using a Waymo because everybody's probably asleep. So most of the Waymos go to this parking lot. Unfortunately, again, like I said, what happens is like between 2 and 3 in the morning, they are scheduled to go to a charging station, which they do. However, when they make it back to the parking lot, they all get fucking confused. And it's like, what do we do? What do we do? So yeah, hopefully Waymo will get that fixed. And these San Francisco residents can get the San Francisco treat of sleep. Microsoft secretly updated Windows security to fix an important issue. Not entirely sure how this one works. But according to Microsoft, a Windows system could be vulnerable to attack in the first few hours after a new Windows installation due to a protection gap in Microsoft Defender antivirus. Apparently, the installation images for the operating system may have contained outdated antivirus software binaries. As such, this Windows security update fixes the issue and adds better detection mechanisms for Trojan, adware, and backdoor exploit threats. In addition to improved security, the update may also result in improved system performance in some cases. The update has been made available for the following versions of Windows. So what I'm wondering here is is this an update that comes out to PCs that have been running for a while? Because it seems like in the first few hours, I would get that it may I'm wondering if these updates are being applied to the images themselves and not necessarily to the computers. Where it's like, because it's not like, you can go out and buy a disc with Windows 11, I imagine. Right? You can buy Windows 11 physical copy. Can I buy a copy of Windows 11? Well, it looks like it looks like I can, according to this Walmart thing. I could see, okay, Amazon will give a USB stick. Yeah, that one from Walmart, I don't know. That's why I didn't click on it. This is buy and download Windows 11, but I don't. So they'll ship you a USB, or you can download it, but still no. But see, what are you so okay? And I guess all right, there may not be a disc, but with a USB, I can see having older versions of Windows Defender because they, you upload the latest image of Windows to the USB and you ship out the USB, and it can be sitting on the shelf for a long time before, somebody buys it and then tries to install. Same thing with a CD, right? Because it's not like you could update a CD or USB drive in packaging wirelessly. So I get that. What bothers me here is the fact that I'm wondering if they are alleging that the download. So when I went to the Microsoft page and say, hey, I want to buy and download Windows 11, is the image that Microsoft providing me not being updated? Which I feel like that's just stupid. I feel like if you come out with a new image, or if you have new virus definitions, that should spark that, like that should create a new image that then gets applied to the whole chain. Whether it's like, all right, we have new definitions. We put that in a version of Windows with the latest, we put that in the latest Windows 11 image, and that'll be ready for download, and that'll be put into the, and that's what's going to be put on the USBs going forward. But yeah, like if you were giving me like the version of, if you're giving me the Windows 11 image like that you created like from Gold Master and have not updated that image since then, yeah, that's just fucked up, dog. Like you should at least, and I got in maybe in the way they install these patches, it's like, hey, we have the base install, and in here are the definitions, the drivers, all the updates, because they have to be installed one after the other, and it creates a big image, right? And in that case, cool. Send the outdated one. Do it like a USB, but like as long like, because I don't care about Microsoft Defender if my computer is not being connected to the internet. But because most computers are, when I launch the, and this even goes for computers, this should go to OEMs as well. When you're doing pre-built systems or laptops or tablets or whatever. When I buy a laptop, like when I buy anything with Windows on it, whether it's a USB or a computer, or I'm downloading Windows, either I should have the latest version of Windows imaged, or I should have the latest Windows image, or in the setup process, you lock that shit down to where it can only talk to Microsoft. Like there is a Etsy host file that says anything that is not Microsoft servers just routes to 0.0.0.0. It only talks to Microsoft, and that's when you download like your updated drivers, updated Defender definitions. You do everything you can in the setup process to make sure like you have everything you need. Like at least like the bare minimum, which again, I feel like is the Defender definitions. Just like, or maybe like you've detected the hardware, you've got the drivers, the latest drivers for the hardware that's being detected installed. And then you could do further things. Like I will say like what Microsoft, like Windows updates that may not adhere to security, but it may just add additional features. Don't worry about downloading those, but make sure my system is fucking patched the second you give me control to my system. Like I don't want to sit there, open up a laptop, go through the setup process. It gives me access to my laptop, but it's like, hey, you've got additional updates, so you need to reboot. And it's like you look through them and it's like, oh, these are all security updates. It's like, so you meant to tell me, like, especially for an average user, you mean to tell me you let me connect my shit to the fucking internet. It is now wide open. I've been 50 million places and I just now happen to see this as, oh, there were security definitions I did not have. Like, I really wish articles like this were a little bit more specific as to like what's being talked about. But then to it did come from Germany, so things could have been lost in translation, but still. In news that will probably cause a lot of headaches to IT support staff the world over, whether enterprise or home, Microsoft is enabling BitLocker device encryption by default on Windows 11. Microsoft is making BitLocker device encryption a default feature in its next major update to Windows 11. If you clean install the 24H2 version that's rolling out in the coming months, device encryption will be enabled by default when you first sign in or set up a device with a Microsoft account or work school account. No, it says work school account. So if you're using an enterprise account on Microsoft, sorry. Like, you use AD, right? Because I thought you were a Windows admin. Don't y'all use AD? It's about as good as a Microsoft account, but you could assume that all you want. Device encryption is designed to improve the security of Windows machines by automatically enabling BitLocker encryption on the Windows installed device on the Windows install drive and backing up the recovery key to a Microsoft account or okay, it does say Intra ID. It does say Intra ID. Okay. So what is the difference between Intra ID? Like I've seen Intra ID shit, but I've never really known what the fuck it was. Formerly Azure Active Directory. Excuse me. Well, yeah, for a lot of people, so it seems like, yeah, for a lot of people at home or who are doing identity management in the cloud, yeah, good luck. Godspeed. In terrible news that has hit the world, or at least the US, UK, and Canada, there's been a massive data leak that may include personal data of every person in those three countries. Blipping Reporter reports that a hacker attempted to sell this data, then said to be 2.9 billion rather than 2.7 billion records for $3.5 million, stating that it contained records of every individual in each of the three countries. Since then, there have been various partial leaks, but what is said to be a full copy of the database has now been made available for download. The leaked data consists of two text files totaling 277 gigabytes and contains nearly 2.7 billion plain text records rather than the original 2.9 billion number originally shared by the U.S. Department of Defense. While Bleeping Computer can't confirm if this leak contains the data of every person in the U.S., numerous people have confirmed to us that it includes their and family members' legitimate information, including those who are deceased. Each record consists of the following information: a person's name, mailing address, a social security number, with some records including additional information like other names associated with the person. None of this data is encrypted. The site notes that the number is far higher than the combined populations of the three countries because there is a separate record for each address at which an individual is known to have lived. As some of the address data is outdated, it's believed that it may have been obtained from an old backup of the database rather than the live version. This is again where I will say we need comprehensive data privacy protection in this country. However, our lawmakers are focused on trying to get ByteDance to divest from TikTok or ban the app in its entirety, because they're afraid the Chinese have our data. It seems like this ain't the Chinese that has the data. It is a company called National Public Data, which collects and sells personal data for use in background checks by private investigators and others. Now, if I'm I'm not mistaken, if I do this here. Oh, it's a company based out of Florida, in the US. But yes, please go off about how China is doing things with our personal data. Go off. Back to Google Pixel. No, it's fine for everyone other than China to handle the data. Oh, don't forget Russia, Iran, and North Korea. But yeah, back to Google Pixels. While everybody's celebrating those new Pixel devices, just want to let you know that the old Pixel devices apparently have a software flaw that opens up the phone to hackers. The vulnerability was discovered after iVerify's endpoint detection response EDR scanner flagged an insecure Android device at Palantir Technologies and iVerify client. After launching a joint investigation, iVerify, Palantir, and Trail of Bits discovered a hidden Android software package, showcase.apk, across Google Pixel devices. The data mining firm Palantir, which sells its surveillance products to governments and private companies, banned Android devices across the company in response. Ruin, that's a to call question. I still can't get it right. That's a question for him. Yeah, see, again, you understand that is a that is a call question. It's a cow. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Quote, this was very deleterious of trust to have third-party, unvetted, insecure software on it. Dane Stuckey, Palantir's chief information security officer, told the Washington Post, "We have no idea how it got there, so we made the decision to effectively ban Androids internally." Oh, but you sell software that will essentially do the thing you're afraid this software will do. Okay. I do want to remind everybody too that Palantir also works with the Israeli government and is complicit in Israel's genocide of the Palestinian people and its ongoing occupation of the land. According to iVerify's report, the software was developed by a company called Smith Micro Software and appears to have been created for Verizon for in-store demos. The app was inactive by default and had to be manually enabled, the iVerify report found. When enabled, showcase.apk makes the operating system accessible to hackers and ripe for man-in-the-middle attacks, code injection, and spyware. The report reads, the impact of this vulnerability is significant and could result in data loss breaches totaling billions of dollars. In a statement to The Verge, Google spokesperson Ed Fernandez said the software was made for Verizon in-store demo devices and is no longer being used, adding that Google has seen no evidence of any active exploitation. Okay, see, now this is where we turn from Palantir and we look at Google and say, hey, Google, if software was made and it is no longer being used, stop including it. Remove it. You have the power. iVerify told Google about its report in early May. According to Wired, the company had not yet publicly disclosed the vulnerability, nor has it released a software update to remove the problem. Wired reported that Android would remove the app from all Pixel devices in the coming weeks, which Fernandez confirmed to The Verge. Yeah. So it's one thing to have the problematic software on the phones, right? And like Google, what are we doing? Like, I feel like it should not be this hard to remove the software, right? But to have Palantir of all companies complain about this software when it's like, this is literally what you do. Yeah. In more hacking news, high-end racing bikes are now vulnerable to hacking. Because that's just what we do now. A team of computer scientists have found that wireless gear shifting systems in high-end bikes are vulnerable to cyber security attacks that could undermine popular races like the Tour de France. Watch Dogs is getting close. It really is. Wireless gear shift systems are meant to give riders better control of their bikes, according to University of California, San Diego, whose researchers collaborated with those from Northeastern University on the study. But the modernization also introduces a new set of problems in the form of hacking vulnerabilities. Those weak points could be exploited to gain an unfair advantage, potentially causing crashes or injuries by manipulating gear shifts or jamming the shifting operation, the researchers wrote. I want to know, why are they wireless? Or is it like the shifting part that where you can select the gear is here and it transmit a signal to the actual gear shift? Or they're not using like the hydraulic lines, I guess, to make the changes? Let's see. Does this say no? Okay, you just open that up. Oh, okay, yeah, because there are definitely there are no cables, huh? Oh, there are cables, or like, so I guess like the pneumatics are still happening, or whatever this is still happening, but it's just like just kind of happening here. That's interesting. And also, like, yeah, like, I mean, having shit like this implemented and like, yeah, especially like we were talking about like the Tour de France, where it's like, you know, you can cause accidents. So like, yeah, no, but why? Also goes to another thing my son told me today, where he was like, you should go on like a reality TV show so you could get famous. It's like you could win a lot of money. I was like, I don't want to do that. Competitions fucking suck, man. Again, as I am one of the TOs for competitive esports. Moving on, Apple is finally going to that would get kicked off reality TV show real quick. Yeah, I don't think I would fare too well either. Just because I would be so annoying in the fact that I'm not actively engaging with all of the fuckery of a show, right? It's like, gosh, Marcus, I can't stand you. Like, okay, it's whatever. We just don't get along, and I would just move on. Oh, why won't you fight me? Like, because I don't want to. Yeah, I feel like my chill demeanor would get me kicked off the show. Apple is finally going to open up iPhone Tap to Pay. And I think this is only happening in Europe, of course. Or I don't know. It may not. The relevant APIs to build these apps will be available to developers in Australia, Brazil, Canada, Japan, New Zealand, the UK, and the US in an upcoming iOS 18.1 developer beta with additional locations to follow. However, developers that want to take advantage of Apple's APIs will have to enter into a commercial agreement with Apple, request the NFC and SE entitlement, and pay the associated fees. Excuse me. So yeah, if you want access to that NFC, it's gonna cost ya. But I'm wondering too if they're taking those steps and forcing developers to pay, like to go through these hoops and pay. Because like, hey, if you have monetary stake in the level of access we are giving you to iPhones, you will be less willing to try to exploit it. Also, we know where you are at this point. But this does seem to be more, while it is available in more places than the EU, this does seem like it is based off the EU's investigations into the iPhone. Oh, excuse me. I was going to play a game on stream today, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. I still got some shit I got to do offline. Realme's 320 watt fast charger can fully charge a smartphone in 4.5 minutes. Now here I am complaining that the Pixel 9 Pros, could charge 50% to 75% in like half an hour. Well, there is literally going to be a phone that will exist, possibly, that could charge from 0 to full in 4.5 minutes. Silly me for complaining about 65 watt charging when 320 watt charging exists. Realme has once again taken the lead in the fast charging arms race with its new 320 watt supersonic charge technology. The company demonstrated the tech by fully charging a smartphone with a 4,420 milliamp hour battery, which is a bit smaller than what's in the new Pixel 9 and 9 Pro. Hey, in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. The charging speeds are made possible by two key innovations announced during an event in Shenzhen, China. Realme managed to boost the power output of its existing 240 watt charger that debuted last year to 320 watts without increasing its size. The Pocket Cannon, as the upgraded charger is called, also now features two USB-C ports capable of delivering 150 watts to Realme smartphones and 65 watts to devices like laptops. The other innovation is a new 4,420 milliamp hour battery with 4 individual cells that can all be charged simultaneously and also folds up to squeeze inside a smartphone. Apple and Samsung smartphones currently use single cell batteries, which typically offer more capacity, while companies like OnePlus and Realme use dual cell batteries capable of faster charging times. Whew. That's a lot. So I'm gonna take a break here. I'm gonna stop because I have to look at a problem. Good, that doesn't manifest its screen on the other side because the stream recording is going to stop right now. Just so you can see, and this is a problem that I didn't know I ran into it, even though it makes sense now. I bought some games when I got paid this week and I forgot about this thing. So yeah, I ran out of space. I've got to check on that. So yeah, show might be up a lot later than it usually is because I've got to download, edit, and then try to clear all space all at the same time. Let's see here. I'm gonna get to the news, and then actually I'm going to take a potty break in a second. T-Mobile is fined $60 million for unauthorized access to data, the largest fine of its type. T-Mobile has been fined $60 million for failing to prevent unauthorized access to sensitive data and for further failing to report the failure. Unusually, the fine was levied by the Committee on Foreign Investments in the U.S., CFIUS, and is the largest fine it has ever issued. Of course, this was being leveled by CFIUS because T-Mobile is owned by Deutsche Telekom in Germany. Normally, I think the FTC or the F is one of the two, either FTC or FCC would normally go after companies like this. But yeah, because T-Mobile is a subsidiary of a German company, we have to use the foreign investment joint to go after them. T-Mobile said in a statement that it experienced technical issues during its post-merger integration with Sprint that affected information shared from a small number of law enforcement information requests. It stressed that the data never left the law enforcement community and was reported in a timely manner and was quickly addressed. Ooh. So y'all just be leaking shit and ain't saying nothing. Okay. And finally, in tech news, Kim.com of Mega Upload fame is finally being extradited to the United States for trial. Kim.com is being extradited to the United States to face long-standing criminal charges relating to his defunct file-sharing service, Mega Upload. The order was signed by New Zealand Justice Minister Paul Goldsmith, according to Reuters, which said that Mr.com should be surrendered to the U.S. to face trial. As the founder and former CEO of MegaUpload.com, born Kim Schmitz, was accused by U.S. authorities of having cost film studios and record companies over $500 million by enabling users to share pirated content. The German-born internet mogul moved to New Zealand in 2010 and has been fighting extradition since local police, at the behest of the FBI, raided his Auckland mansion in 2012 over charges of racketeering, money laundering, and copyright infringement. The Department of Justice shut down Mega Upload that same year. .com, who has spent the last several years pushing various conspiracy theories and digital disinformation, responded to the deportation ruling on Twitter, saying the obedient U.S. colony in the South Pacific just decided to extradite me for what users uploaded to Mega Upload unsolicited. Two former Mega Upload officers, Matthias Ortman and Bram van der Kolk, were handed 31 and 30-month prison sentences respectively last year after signing plea deals to avoid extradition. So I will admit, Kim.com did he had a successful run. Well, I guess because of just greed and the amount of money this man amassed and the amount of money he just had at his disposal to avoid U.S. law, which again has me conflicted in certain ways. Man, the contradictions. But again, it's like the U.S. police are only here to defend and protect the state. And if you are rich, you can get away with a lot of crimes if you got the means to do so. So it's like, there are two tenets here where it's like, both the police and Kim.com are on my shit list, but also when you add why the U.S. is doing it, the fact that, 500 million film studios and record companies say, oh no, you cost us $500 million. Like, yeah, right. Shut the fuck up. Stop it. All right, I'm going to take a quick break here. Stretch my legs, use the restroom. I'll be right back with the video game stuff, which should last not as long. Should be a bit more interesting. And yeah, we'll be right back. All right, I feel well, I don't feel hydrated. I haven't not sipped it yet, but we're gonna get close. Watch this. There we go, baby. Hydration station. All right. Now that we've had a break, it's time to move on over to some games. Let's talk about some games. Gonna start off first. who is ready for Black Myth Wukong? Okay, that was terrible. I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, so Black Myth Wukong is coming out soon, if not like, I think I've still seen people talk about like pre-order discounts and shit. So I do not know. Why would you? Okay, August 19th. So in a couple of days. The game is coming out in a couple of days, but while you wait for the release, you can actually download the PC benchmark tool to test to see if you can actually play the game with various settings enabled. It does have DLSS 3 and FSR 3 ray tracing as well. Like when I ran my tests, I was getting anywhere from about 20 something to 90 something FPS, depending on the settings. Fairly consistent. It's a little jumpy in some places, but like just going off the bench was like, all right, I seem like I could play this. My PC should be able to handle it. But yeah, of course, see how other people feel about it, and then also see what the game is like seeing what the game is like when it finally releases. Apparently will also provide game service with feedback. That is actually an option that you can turn on or off. I turned off, so yeah, I don't need you to know what the fuck I'm doing with your software. Go away. Even though I don't know, it may have still sent it anyway. Minimum specs are listed over on Steam, requiring an Intel Core i5-8400 or an AMD Ryzen 5 1600 processor, and NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 6GB or an AMD Radeon RX 580 8GB graphics card, along with 16GB of RAM. Also, like I said, it's coming out on August 19th, but only for PC and PS5. The Xbox version has been delayed. Yeah, like that. I think that's where my highest one was. So when I enabled FSR with FrameGen, I ran it pretty well. Just DLSS alone, I was struggling. Yeah, with FSR with FrameGen, it was really good. And again, it's a thing where I know at one point I was praising when they put DLSS in Starfield, I was like, okay, I see the merits of DLSS. I've barely seen it before, right? But since FSR 3 and FrameGen for FSR came out, I have been on that Team Red shit for the longest time, like since then, because being able to use that on a Steam Deck was amazing. To be able to play Horizon at like 30 plus FPS on the Steam Deck was life-changing. Unfortunately, the feature came out after I finished the game. Right. It is because I'm pretty, like, you've got a NVIDIA GPU that is sub 40 series like I do. Like I have a 3080 Ti. Like I feel like my hardware should be able to use DLSS FrameGen. I don't know how AMD does it to where it could just run on anything, even piddly GPUs that are in a fucking Steam Deck. But for them to be able to do FrameGen and it works, like just like on a Steam Deck, like the quality, I don't care because it's 720p on a 7-inch screen, right? It's whatever. At that point, yeah, I would like to just be able to play a heavy ass game like Horizon. Here, it did lack some clarity, but again, I'm not John Linneman. I'm not Alex Battaglia. I don't care about that clarity as much. unless like I'm seeing ghosting and shit. And like when I see that, it fucks with me. But I feel like if AMD is able to do this on, like if AMD is able to be hardware agnostic with their frame gen technology, why can't NVIDIA, outside of the obvious answer, which is we want to make money, so you have to buy the card that we have to support it. And like, sure, we can sit here and say that DLSS 3 with frame gen may be vastly superior than AMD's. I don't know. I don't think I've seen a video comparison for that yet. I don't think I've come across one yet. I mean, I have to imagine Digital Foundry has one already. It's just that I have not seen it on Plex server, because as I, just copy the videos and don't really pay attention to what I'm copying. But yeah, like AMD giving frame generation to a lot more people, including the people that NVIDIA left behind, is amazing. And like, again, it's something where like it's game changing on the same level of FreeSync, whereas like G-Sync, you have to have a specific hardware, but FreeSync works on fucking anything. Like, this is what this feels like again, whereas like FreeSync works everywhere. G-Sync, you gotta pay a little bit more. You gotta have specific hardware. FreeSync is on any gaming monitor you wanted, any gaming monitor you want that doesn't have G-Sync on it. Because I don't know if this G-Sync monitor will use AMD's FreeSync if I had an AMD GPU. But yeah, shouts out to AMD all day, every day. Doom 3 VR developer Archaic, I'm sorry, is shutting down. Archaic, best known for developing Journey to Foundation and Doom 3 VR Edition, will close in 2 weeks. We've known for some time that Archaic has been facing trouble following previous layoffs across multiple departments in January. While it since delivered a PC VR release for Journey to Foundation back in June, the Canadian studio will permanently close its doors on August 26th. I remember the G-Sync tax. I think my G-Sync monitor was $200 more than the FreeSync version. Yeah, like I'm sitting here with one G-Sync monitor, which is my main one here, and the other two are FreeSync. Or at least maybe this MSI one is FreeSync. I don't know what it is. I don't know where my basic LG monitor here is doing. Because it's like an office monitor that was 1440p. But I at least got my G-Sync monitor on sale. Valve confirms it'll support the ROG Ally with its Steam Deck operating system. This is on top of other news too that I did not include, that Valve did release Windows drivers for the Steam Deck OLED today. So Steam is supporting. So Steam, while Valve has not come out and confirmed that it will support Windows on the Steam Deck, Valve has confirmed that they will be supporting SteamOS on additional hardware. The company's long said it plans to let other companies use SteamOS too, and that means explicitly supporting rival Asus ROG Ally gaming handheld. Valve designer Lauren Chang now confirms to The Verge. A few days ago, some spotted an intriguing line in Valve's latest SteamOS release code added support for extra ROG Ally keys. We didn't know Valve was supporting any ROG Ally keys at all, let alone extras. Maybe Valve was just supporting those keys in the Steam desktop client on a Windows, or I guess this was on Windows, where it offers a Steam Deck-like big picture mode interface for any PC, and the line mistakenly made it into these patch notes. Let's see, Sean Hollister asked to be safe. But no, this is indeed about Valve eventually supporting the ROG Ally and other rival handhelds. Like I said earlier, like I am glad that this is coming out, but I do not know if main Steam Deck users, like people who bought the Steam Deck to just be, or people who bought the ROG Ally, because the people who bought the ROG Ally would want to do this because it limits them to one place, and they'd have to configure all the other things that they'd be missing out on by moving to Steam OS from Windows. I do see people who may want to futz around with it, who may want like better performance. Because again, I would see like if the ROG Ally with a 1080p display and bigger battery is able to run at the same, like run the same games for about the same amount of time with the beefier hardware, I imagine putting them on Steam, putting them on that Linux-based OS is going to see bigger performance if the emulation, if the wine emulation doesn't get in the way. We need some way to get them Xbox and other launcher games on Steam OS. I have a normally console dude who got him an Ally. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so with the Xbox, right? No, we would still need to be like, it would be nice if you could, if the Proton layer was able to work. I mean, and it technically does. I mean, I don't know about the Windows shit because they use UWP, so I don't know. But or actually no, because I think most of them are actually doing x86 now. I can't remember. I know they were UWP at one point, but I think they're coming back to x86. But yeah, like it would be nice to sit there and have these other launchers be able to work and be able to download games that way, without having to try to hack them in, like having everything run under the Proton layer. And you know, people just put in that work to try to get these things supported. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if they really wanted, like, because of the fact that, like, I don't know what the game parity is between Epic and Steam, right? I know there are still some exclusives that are on Epic, but from what I understand, it's the same fucking code. One may have an Epic DRM and the other one has a Steam DRM or whatever. Like, so it's a thing of like, if I have, like, I'm gonna use Saints Row as an example. That's the one game I want to play that is on the Epic store that I want to play on Steam. I'm pretty sure Saints Row is available on Steam and probably works. As a matter of fact, let's do this. I can never remember if it's .com or .org. Saints Row. There we go. It's gold. It's gold on Steam, or it's gold on Steam Deck. Well, I'm gonna do Steam Deck. Okay, so 2 months ago, tutorial worked, but then it crashed afterwards. Can't play beyond the tutorial. I mean, people are saying that shit, it works. I mean, it's varying results and whatnot. This is the latest one that's saying that it doesn't. But yeah, I mean, also Steam, the deck verify status is unsupported, so there's that. But the thing is, it's like, apparently some people were able to get it to run on the Steam Deck. Why can't we have like an Epic launcher that works, and we can download games from Epic, and like because it's the same thing as the Steam version, they just still work. He complains a lot about the Windows shit since he's used to things just working. Again, this is why I feel like Windows really should just make a version of Windows that is like, even if they don't create their own handheld, I feel like there should be an Xbox version of Windows that works on portable consoles. Hey, we're not creating a handheld, but we created an OS that works for handhelds. Well, Ruin, I'm about to blow your fucking mind. The game bar for Microsoft for Windows is becoming more handheld friendly. And I would say this looks like a decent mock-up of what you could expect. Like from a Windows OS that is tailored to a mobile PC. With compact mode enabled, access to widgets and navigation is simplified to ensure you can get access to the content you want as easily as possible. When using a controller, you can switch between widgets quickly with left and right bumpers. I mean, if anything, like it looks like an Xbox. Like this looks like the Xbox UI, like when you click home and it shows like that little sidebar with the most recent games you played and a couple of icons down at the bottom. So I mean, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, we don't want to remember it. Windows 8. Let's see. Oh, am I hitting the right buttons? I am not. PlayStation Plus games catalog for August include The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, Wild Hearts, Cult of the Lamb, and more. It seems like there's a lot of witching animals, a whole bunch of. Also, well, look at that. Watch Dogs 2 being included. And Ride 5. And of course, if you have premium Vacation Simulator, Time Splitters 2, and Time Splitters Future Perfect launch on PlayStation Plus Premium. There was another one, Sword Art Online Last Recollection. Oh, it looks like Naruto to Burrito. Naruto to Boruto, Shinobi Striker. Another Sword Art Online game. Alization Licorice. That sounds kind of sexual. Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. Also coming to PlayStation Plus. On Premium, you get Vacation Simulator, Time Splitters 2, Time Splitters Future Perfect. Another Sword Art Online game, Lost Song. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, if you've got PlayStation Plus, some games are coming your way. It seems like a lot. Well, they were focusing on The Witcher and Wild Hunt and Cult of the Lamb. Seems like you're getting a shit ton of Sword Art Online. Activision is finally doing something about Call of Duty's giant downloads. I'm not into SAO, but good for them. Exactly. They eating today. They're eating this month, baby. Call of Duty games famously giant file size, but ahead of the October 25th launch of Black Ops 6, Activision is going to make some changes so the Call of Duty titles don't take up as much space on your hard drive, including separating Warzone from the default download for the annual games. The default separation of Warzone is happening soon on August 21st, alongside the launch of Season 5 Reloaded. As part of that, when you download an annual Call of Duty game, you'll also be able to opt in to also download Warzone if you want. And if you want to download Warzone, that will still be an option as well. So, I'm wondering at this point, can I just like uninstall Warzone if that's what I want? Because also I'm gonna put out there, like, when I have to launch Call of Duty on my PC, it launches this overarching thing, and I have to go several menus to find the single player when all I wanted to play was a single player. With Season 5 Reloaded, Activision also says that it's going to rely more on texture streaming, and players will be able to pick between optimize the default or minimal settings. In mid-October, Activision plans to introduce a new user interface for browsing your Call of Duty games too. Activision says you're going to have to download a big update as part of the Season 5 rollout that will reorganize game files and add new tech to prep the way for the full player interface. After that update is done, Activision says that Call of Duty's footprint will go down because of the file optimizations. PlayStation 5 players will have to download a series of updates because of differences in file organization. Damn. So yeah, good for them. Good for them. In other launcher news, Civilization 7 won't require the 2K launcher on PC. Also this week, the launcher for Civilization 6 is gone. Unfortunately, when I play Civ 5, I still have to go through that launcher. They could have updated the game if they wanted to. Let's see, the announcement was made on the Steam page Civ 6 with no further explanation provided. However, the 2K launcher had been causing technical issues for Civ 6 over the past couple of months on Steam, requiring hotfixes in June and July. See, it doesn't seem like Civ 7 got an announced, but it was unveiled at Summer Games Fest, and I believe there was supposed to be some more information that was supposed to be coming out, I thought, but maybe not. Also in deals, look, hurry up. I don't care if you leave the stream, but just check. We'll go to Best Buy. The ROG Ally is $200 off at Best Buy right now. Go, 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 go. I don't have to say much about this. Go, go. Of course, there is the new ROG Ally X. This is not that. This is the first gen version. So yeah. And then you can get it and then you can put SteamOS on it. That's what you want to do. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got some work I got to do for tomorrow, so I'm going to call it a day. Thank you for sticking around for all of the Tech Talk dump truck. I know that was a lot. It is going to be a lot to try to get on to the various sites that it appears, so definitely bear with me. I'm going to do that. Again, I do apologize for being out this week. But hopefully, again, with the new time, which will not last very long, mind you. Again, I'm an idiot for deciding nearly at the end of summer vacation, hey, maybe it would help if I moved the stream to later in the day. That way, I could do child stuff. And then when that's done, I could stream. But no, I didn't think about that until like 2 to 3 weeks before school started back. So, yeah. Hopefully in the next, I'll probably take another week off when he starts back school so I can kind of get into the swing of things. And then, yeah, after that, we should be back with more Tech Talk today. See how that goes. But yeah, guess I will, hopefully, God willing, I will see you all on Monday with the weekend edition. With all that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Also, I've noticed. Oh, I saw the number wrong. Don't mind me. I'm not going to even say anything about that. Anywho, thank you again. Of course, y'all could have been watching any stream in the world. Could have been playing. You could have been anywhere in the world watching any stream in the world. You could have been reading the tech and gaming news. So, but you said no, thank you. The dump truck's coming, and for that, I said thank you. And all I've got left to say to you is that nobody's going to save us but ourselves. I love you, and peace.
Y'all still here? Anywho, thank you so much for tuning in to another video. Really do appreciate it. Of course, if you like the content that you just saw, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all the thing that the YouTubers ask you to do. I guess that includes me now. Anywho, yes, like, comment, subscribe. Really do appreciate it. Support the channel over Patreon, PayPal, whatever. Check out the links in the video to anything else I might be pushing, hawking. I don't know. Did I sell out by now? I recorded this ages ago. Have I sold out? Let me know. But until then, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.